Hello everyone. Today's topic was about encryption. So there was a brief discussion about snapshots too, but we'll see it later. Maybe in the next recording that I do will be about snapshots. So today we see about encryption. So what is encryption? Encryption is the process of converting a plain text file to a ciphertext file. That is called encryption. So what is plain text file? That's the usual file that we store in our computer, which is easily readable. That is called plain text file. Whereas a ciphertext file, it could be not readable. Even the machine can't read it. It's just gibberish. It's just like that. Even the machine can't read it. That's called ciphertext file. But there are some algorithms that decrypt the ciphertext file into plain text file or vice versa. So the reverse of this phenomenon, that is converting a ciphertext file to a plain text file, is known as decryption. So that is encryption and decryption. So there are various types of encryptions, which are file level encryption, disk level encryption, client side encryption, and server side encryption. So these are pretty intuitive to understand. File level encryption means only one individual file is getting encrypted. That's file level encryption. Disk level encryption, the whole disk, maybe we have a C drive, the whole D drive, we could take the whole D drive would get encrypted. That's called disk level encryption. So one example is a BitLocker that we have in our Windows pre-installed, that is used to encrypt our whole disk. That is disk level encryption. So client side encryption, the encryption that is done by us. Whatever we do that to encrypt the disk or file, whatever it is, that is client side encryption. And server side encryption, that is done in the server side. That's all. Means AWS, since we are working in AWS cloud, the AWS does the encryption. That's server side encryption. So within server side encryption, since we are talking about cloud, so we go deep in that server side encryption. We see that there are two types within server side encryption, that is which are AWS managed and KMS. So AWS managed is that in the default launch wizard. If you see the default launch wizard to launch an instance in EC2 service, under storage volume options, you would have time. Maybe we'll show that. I'll record a separate video for that too. So under storage and volume, we could see an encryption option, and if we enable it and we use a key which is AWS managed. So that is AWS managed. That's the default key that AWS provides us to encrypt or decrypt the volume respectively. So what is KMS? KMS is a bit different. KMS is a separate service like EC2, SC3, Glacier, Bedrock. So these are some of the service I know. Again, there are 200 plus services. So KMS is one of the service, key management service. So that's one of the service. We could use that service to create a key ourselves. We don't need to rely on AWS to create a default key for us. We create a key ourselves, and we can use that key to decrypt in any of our volumes which is stored in any of our services. For example, we could use our KMS key to encrypt the volume stored in EC2 instance. Or let's say I have a volume in SC3. In SC3, I don't have that much knowledge in SC3, Glacier and all, but I know it's used to store. It's used for storage. So we could use this KMS to encrypt the volumes in SC3 or Glacier. So this is a separate service, KMS. So this could be this is all done by us. So we create the key to encrypt the volume. So for example, in EC2, we create an EBS volume, we could use this KMS key to encrypt the volume, or we could use a default AWS managed default key that could be used to encrypt the volume. So yeah, so another point to be noted is that it's not free tier. KMS is not free tier. It may cost up to 1 USD, but recently Amazon refined their policies that whoever created accounts, AWS accounts after July 15th gets 6 months of free plus some 200 USD credits. So it's okay, but it's to be noted that this is not free tier. So snapshots will be covering tomorrow, so we'll see that. Thank you.